Hello friends, I am Chevee. Welcome to my shed. How are you doing today? How's life in your world? How's things where you are? I hope everything is good. I hope everything is great. The shop is a bit of a mess if that's not obvious. And I don't know what happened. Well, I know what happened on Friday, but I got a text message from one of you, and it was like, I missed the video on Friday, so I wanted to check in. And I was like, oh, okay. And that was on like Saturday, right? And then Sunday comes and I opened my computer, which I hadn't been on at all this weekend, and saw that I had uploaded the video, but I'd never hit the publish button. So it was like still on the Google upload page, but the publish button wasn't pushed. So that I was making stuff. Let me hold on a second. The reason that I didn't hit the publish button was because I was down here all weekend. Not all weekend. I mean, yesterday was a big, long soccer day. We had lots and lots and lots of soccer, hours of soccer yesterday. But Saturday, I got to come play in the shop, which I've been feeling like I haven't been doing anything for a while now. If you haven't seen Friday's video, go watch it. I talked about dopamine addiction and how, like, when I'm not creating, when I'm not reading a book, or when I'm not engaged in a series, television series, or playing a video game, when I'm not doing any of those things, I get real antsy. Like, I can't just do nothing. And, there's always cleaning that can be done, or whatever, housework stuff. But I also have a difficult time with that. So this weekend I was kind of feeling a little bit lost, and Em was like, you need to go to the garage and work. Like, go make something. And one of those things that I've been needing to make is my oldest asked me to make her. Basically, she found an art box that's got 4 drawers and it holds colored pencils. And they're like super shallow, like 3/8 inch deep drawers. 4 of them. So Em was like, just go. I was talking to her about how I could make these drawers, and she's like, why don't you just go do it? And if they don't turn out nice, then just start over and do it again. And I was like, you're right. And so I did. I came down here. I cleaned for a bit. I got the dust collector, running good, and I started making drawers. And I made 2. And these were intended to be marker drawers, so they're deeper than that 1/2 inch. But the notes that I had taken about the size of the drawers were not correct, or I misunderstood my notes. These aren't long enough to fit her markers. So I made 2 drawers that have no purpose in life right now. They've got cherry fronts. The side pieces this is all poplar with a plywood bottom. They turned out okay. They're not great. I could spend some time with them and make them nicer. I've thought of ways. These fronts are bowed a little bit. I could run this through my table saw and shave off like a 1/16 of an inch on the front of each of these to make them better. The joinery, I just used some little, like, I guess like a rabbet type joint on the ends here. Just these 2 end pieces. The problem that I have is I cut rabbets on the end pieces to receive the side pieces. I also cut rabbets all the way along the bottoms to receive the bottom. And because I don't have a rabbeting bit for my router, and this wood is really thin and delicate, and I don't know if I would try a rabbeting bit anyway. I did it on my table saw. And I tried cutting these rabbets, and they look terrible. But of course, you can't really see them now. You won't ever see them from the top of the box because you're pulling the drawer out. It looks like a nice drawer. But because the wood is thin and because the wood wasn't quite straight, the rabbets kind of wandered and they went different depths. They weren't full depth, and I had to do a lot of chisel work to clean them up, and I wasn't satisfied. So the good news is I made 2 drawers that have no purpose in life. I will attempt to build some sort of box to put them in. I have no idea. Maybe I'll build a jewelry box with like a lidded top and a recess, and then these can be drawers or something like that. Maybe that's something I can build for somebody. But I got a lot of practice, and I learned a whole lot. And it felt good to just do that. It felt good to just do anything. I did that. I tore apart my old dust box. I'm not going to pick it up. I had a dust box that I built behind the table saw. I tore it down, cut the top off of it, made it smaller, and then I had I had a little 2.5-inch input-output cyclone that I bought years ago for a shop vac I used to have. I don't have that shop vac anymore. So the cyclone's just been sitting in a corner. So I basically used my old dust bin, cut it down, and put the shop vac on top. This has nothing to do with what I'm talking about. I just feel the need to fidget, so I'm going to open this stuff up and fidget. So I got to play with that a little bit. I got to work on a car for a little bit. I got to do a little bit of stuff. And, you know, when I left on Friday, the intention was for us to have a discussion over the weekend about, you know, how do you cope with that dopamine addiction. You know, how do you deal with it when the rush is over because you completed the video game, or the rush is over because you finished the book, or you finished the TV series you've been binging, or you finished the project you've been working on. How do you recover? What is your method of recovery? And I think the answer is to just do anything. And I knew the answer. I just, for some reason, I have a very difficult time pushing myself to do it. And I also have this problem that when Emma's here, you know, she's here pretty often. When she's here, I want to spend time with her. Like, I want to get all the time in I can. So I end up just kind of chilling, which I love. Don't get me wrong. I was never, ever able to chill before her. So it's been nice to be able to. But I don't know where I was going with that. The point is, I did some stuff. I feel better. I guess that's really all I wanted to say. Yeah. Thank you for being here, as always. Thank you for liking, commenting, subscribing, being amazing friends, being wonderful people. I really appreciate you. And I will see you tomorrow. Alexa, tell me a random fact.
In 1955, Quaker Oats started giving away land deeds for free in their cereal. 21 million deeds were printed, each covering a 1-inch by 1-inch parcel of land in Yukon, Canada.
A 1-inch plot of land.